Hello. I found it surprising that at the time of filming, there is currently no online testimonials for National Taiwan University's Summer Plus Chinese Language and Culture program. Despite only existing on a single webpage and a partnership with many of the UCs, the program is in fact real. So I figured someone should record a video about it, and it might as well be me. So the program is 6 weeks, which isn't long enough to experience everything Taiwan has to offer. So every weekend will feel extremely loaded with the expectation of a field trip. However, the more touristy activities you get up to on the evenings and weekends, the less time you actually have to rest, do homework, and study. During the week, you can expect a 3-hour Mandarin class, lunch hour, and then require tutor hall, where you put what you learn to practice for an hour or so. There's homework, a new vocab to get memorized every night, and usually it's pretty involved, so it gets harder and harder with each level you get placed into. I was in Class D, the intermediate level, and we had a few Baogao and Xiaokao every week. This isn't sponsored, but I do think it's worth paying for a flashcard app like Quizlet Pro, and then using the batch text import feature, because every night you'll have around 40 or so new words to learn. Additionally, your experience may vary wildly based off of who your teacher is and their style or strictness. Learning and writing traditional characters, Fantiza, is a huge hurdle that you won't quite get used to until maybe week 3. Same with the humidity. Aside from Mandarin classes, you'll have the Exploring Taiwan lectures or the cultural field trips that you can eat up the rest of the evenings, as they usually involve a charter bus to a faraway location, and then everyone else is just left to their own devices to return back to their housing. Luckily, the public transit is some of the best in the world, so all you really need to do is open Google Maps and just see which bus, metro line, or train you need to take. Or you could also rent a U-bike for the affordable price of 5 NT, which is about less than a quarter in USD. Ride often enough, and it stops charging you for some of the rides. Though the entire trip, my transit costs around 1500 NT. Just make sure to load up your student ID at your local Family Mart or 7-Eleven or metro station kiosk, which is a really good way to get rid of small change, and you're good to go. My Mandarin isn't perfect, but I would usually just say 我要出示我的悠游卡, and then just hand them the amount in cash. Additionally, you could use this like a debit card and buy things at various convenience stores, but cash is king when it comes to night markets and most smaller stores. When riding, don't forget to tap twice, once when boarding and then again when getting off, and be sure to press the 下一站 button when you need to get off the bus. And generally leave the seats open for elderly and pregnant. Although also there is no food allowed in MRT stations or birds. Taiwan is pretty great for many reasons, but not limited to your average meal costs 100 NT or less, which roughly equates to about 316 USD. And these aren't side dishes, they're full-on meals that you likely can't finish with a side and even a drink. This is the food capital of the world. However, you likely won't gain any weight because you'll be sweating buckets from the humidity and summer heat and walking and biking, and it's way more than you're used to. The only time food costs more is if it's fancy or foreign. The biggest culture shock I had is how safe Taiwan is. You can leave a bag on a chair at a cafe or anywhere for that matter, and it'll be there when you return for the bathroom or wherever you went. If someone drops their cash, someone will get their attention and hand it to them. I hate to generalize, but I've yet to meet a Taiwanese person that wasn't incredibly kind and hospitable. It's not a perfect society, and it has its own problems. However, it makes up for those flaws in the quality of all other aspects of life here. Like, this is one of the safest places to live, and I could really see myself living here in the future. In Taiwan, they actually recycle, which is nice. There's more categories of recyclables, and the garbage trucks even sound like ice cream trucks, so what's not to love? The only trouble is you might have difficulty finding public trash cans around the city. So you may want to bring a plastic bag in your own fanny pack or backpack to carry any trash you accumulate until you get home. Some quick recommendations that aren't included in the school trip itinerary. Kaohsiung for food. Yuanshan Station for events like game expos, swing kick classes, clubbing, and concerts. Jiufen for spirited away vibes and tea. But most importantly, Jingguashi for temples, trails, and breathtaking views. Ximen for shopping and more nightlife. And Longshan's night market. Nantou Chiang Kai-shek Memorial, But honestly, you could just take a random bus to a random stop and find good food and nice views regardless of where you are. Just don't do that too late or with a low phone battery, otherwise you may be stranded. And since you're already in Asia, flights to other Asian countries, which you can go to visa-free depending on your passport, are also up for a weekend trip. I went to Hong Kong and had one of the most memorable 42 hours of my life. But not every weekend needs to be jam-packed with as much life in it as possible. If you don't devote time to actually resting, your body will just choose it for you and you'll get sick. So don't be afraid to just take a day off or two and just chill in your room, catch up on homework. You have to do a group video project and a research paper, so leaving the appropriate time to do those things is a good idea. And finally, just make friends, fall in love, live your life as it feels right. It may be messy, but this trip isn't so much about learning Mandarin as it is about the culture and learning about yourself. So enjoy yourself. It's not a vacation, it's not just school, it's something more, and I think that's really special.